This wedding was an assignment for my Religion 2 class in Catholic school.
This One's Wife, Drugs and Dogging in Montecito. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Montecito, or Montecito as I've called it ever since the gruesome twosome move there, is seen as a quiet and peaceful enclave of luxury and wealth. Tucked away near Santa Barbara, it is a place where people who have made their money go to live out their lives in luxury, away from the gaze of the paparazzi, away from the hustle and bustle of Los Angeles. Nevertheless, this One's Wife has often been viewed as an unwelcome addition with the gaze that she has brought as a consequence of her thirst for fuel, namely attention and publicity. It would appear, as a consequence of a recent revelation, that there are some interesting goings-on in Montecito, which we'll get to in a moment. Now, what do you like to do in the evening? Well, some of you might have to work in jobs that require attendance at a workplace in the evening. It might be the case that you simply slump in front of the television, exhausted after the day's activities. It might be that you're dealing with crotch goblins, getting them ready for bed, reading bedtime stories, then having something to eat, watching a bit of telly, and then heading off to bed. For others of you, might pop down the gym, you might go and play some sport, perhaps go for a walk, go and visit friends, go to the cinema. Perhaps it might be the case that you attend to one of your hobbies. You might sit doing a jigsaw or updating your collection of Star Wars figures. Perhaps going away and tinkering in the shed at your latest invention. There's lots of ways that people will utilise their spare time in the evening. Well, it would appear that somebody has been utilising their time in a rather interesting way in the Montecito area. Yes, for it involves drugs and dogging. Now, some of you might not be familiar with the term dogging. Thus, I shall explain. It's a British English slang term for engaging in sexual acts in a public or semi-public place, or watching others doing so. It can be more than two participants. So the usual idea is that there are two people getting down to some sexy time with a group of people watching them. Often it can be the case that it might be a couple in a car having sex, while a group of, and it's usually men, watch and perhaps engage in masturbation. Sometimes they might interact with the strangers. Other times it's just watching. It's something that has originated in the United Kingdom, but there is some evidence that it's spread to other countries, such as the United States, Canada, Australia, Brazil, Denmark, the Netherlands, Norway, Poland, and Sweden. It potentially falls into the risk of being a criminal act in the United Kingdom, although it needs to be witnessed and the individual or individuals witnessing the behaviour have to be offended and willing to make a formal complaint. The police tend to tread fairly lightly in relation to this activity. Why is it called dogging? Well, there are two schools of thought behind that. The first is that the term originated in the 1970s to describe men who spied on couples having sex outdoors, and these men would dog the couple's every move and watch them. Alternatively, it's been suggested that dog walking is used as a cover excuse for the individual's sexual assignations. Either way, the term dogging basically means engaging or watching sexual acts in public. So what's this got to do with Montecito? Well, according to the Daily Express, a headline states, "Chaos in Prince Harry and this one's wife's Montecito after dogging incident." What on earth is this? Has old Fantapubes finally got fed up of the no sex ban that has been instigated by this one's wife as part of the sustained devaluation, and he's popped off to a local dogging site and got caught out? Has that Friar Tuck Ginger Thatch been identified in a video that's circulating the internet demonstrating dogging activity? Or is it the case that this one's wife and Harry have decided to spice things up by popping down to the beach or the local park and engaging in making the beast with two backs, pounding the punani pavement, playing hide the sausage, and inviting onlookers? You might think for a somatic narcissist such as this one's wife, this would be par the course for her. Well, as reported, after walking away from their royal responsibilities in 2020, yes, we know that, Prince Harry and this one's wife settled in the A-list hotspot of Montecito. Yes, we know this. The town in California is among the wealthiest neighborhoods in the United States, homing stars such as Oprah Winfrey, Ellen DeGeneres, and Orlando Bloom, although I thought Ellen had moved to the UK. However, Montecito is not without its share of crime, with one local news website reporting a dogging incident at the start of May. What's going on in the merry, merry month of May? According to the Montecito Journal, a local police officer spotted a suspect on probation engaged in sexual intercourse inside a parked vehicle at around 11 p.m. on Friday, May the 2nd. Police also searched the suspect's wallet and found cocaine. The incident reportedly took place on Channel Drive, located less than 3 miles away from the Sussex's secluded mansion on Rockbridge Road. In a previous interview, this one's wife said the couple did everything we could to get this house, because you walk in and go, joy, and exhale, and calm, it's healing, you feel free. Well, the report goes on to say that there were some other crimes that were committed, 2 other crimes which involved assault. However, what's this? Dogging and drugs. Now, is this a spurious attempt by the Daily Express to report on something which could happen in many places, but brings it to prominence because it took place less than 3 miles away from where the Sussexes live, and is really a pathetic attempt at garnering attention for their news site that way? Could be. Or is there more to this than meets the eye? Come on, Harry, what were you doing on May the 2nd? This one's wife, where were you? Has there been some shenanigans in a 4 SUV motorcade? I think we should know. After all, we know Harry enjoys his recreational pharmaceuticals, and there is evidence to suggest that this one's wife might be indulging also. Might it be that the gruesome twosome have been meeting up with somebody for a bit of jiggery-pokery in the back of an SUV whilst tooting on the old expensive? Well, maybe. Or is this another attempt by the Sussexes to suggest that their lives are in danger, that even Montecito has become infected by crime as a consequence of the fact that someone was in trouble for dogging and taking drugs, and that there was an assault where 2 people were attacked in the street? Apparently, the suspect reportedly stopped his car in the middle of the road before yelling at the victims about trespassing. He then got out of his vehicle and grabbed one of the victims by the collar. After the other victim tried to intervene, the suspect grabbed him by the collar and kicked him. The suspect fled the scene and an investigation was launched by the local police force. There was also a home burglary reported on Olive Mill Road. Well, what's going on here? Is it simply a desperate express trying to link some crimes that have taken place in Montecito with the residents, namely this one's wife and Harry? Is there more to it than meets the eye? Have Harry and this one's wife been up to something they ought not to have been? Or is it simply another attempt to leak information to create the image of them needing security because now they find themselves in a crime hotspot? The idea, of course, of the old Prince of Pink Pancakes engaging in some dogging with this one's wife is an amusing one, and that's why I thought I would share it with you. But once again, what are your thoughts on this reportage? Let me know in the comments section. I'm HG Tudor. Thank you for listening.